Welcome to our FaceTime segment, and today we'll be talking about fashion. And we have with us here two ladies, namely Ms. Shazila and Ms. Shahiza Ghazi.
Yes.
And your brand is called Ziboosa. Yeah, so perhaps you could tell us more. A very interesting name. It sounds very African to me, but tell me, how did the name come about?
Well, basically, ziboosa is actually a combination of both our names,
Okay.
Z and I,
Right.
which is part of our name, and bamboo is embedded in it as well,
Right.
which is ziboosa, which is the bamboo part, and bambusa is also a bamboo species.
Right.
So, yeah,
and
so
I understand that your products are all made from bamboo.
Correct.
Right.
So most of them mix with other materials like cotton and spandex, but mainly bamboo. Yeah.
So when you say bamboo, which part of the bamboo?
Basically-
Breathe! Yeah.
Basically, it's taken from the inside part of the stalk,
Right.
and then the process is very much similar to cotton, except that its raw material is bamboo. And it'll take slightly longer process compared to cotton because we want to use lesser chemicals and to mechanically comb out the yarn, the fibers and whatnot. So, yeah.
So where is your, okay, because Malaysia, do we have much bamboo? We don't really
We do
much of
have
this.
bamboos. We have
Right.
actually about 72 species altogether
okay.
in Malaysia.
Right.
But,
Is there a particular species that you use? Ah, okay.
Which is not grown in Malaysia at the moment. For now, at the moment, we actually import the fabric. But we do, however, manufacture it locally, making it Malaysian product.
Right,
Yes.
right. So a made in Malaysia product.
Correct.
But this that you are sourcing it from which country?
From China.
From
Because,
China.
you know, abundance of bamboo
Naturally,
actually
yes,
there, yes.
Right. So I understand that at the moment you guys have an online, it's an online clothing store,
Yes.
which is Ziboosa, let me check. It's ziboosa.com,
Yep, correct.
right? And you were apparently inspired by the Australian bamboo fabric industry.
Yes.
So tell us more about that. What was the industry like in Australia?
Well, technically, I was studying in Australia from 2007 up to 2009. So in 2008, it actually started from our dad. Visited me in Australia when I was studying, and then he discovered bamboo clothing.
Right.
So he thought, first thing, like new things. So I've never experienced.
new
I've never,
things.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
So when he came back, of course, search online and everything, no Malaysians have done bamboo clothing for adults, especially. So he started the company Bamboo Malaysia Sdn Bhd.
Right.
And then in 2012,
Both of us came
both
on
of
board.
us came.
And basically now it's our baby.
Right.
And running it on our own, and basically expanded to basic clothing, home and gifts.
Clothing, homes, and gifts.
Yes.
So perhaps you could tell us why bamboo and not any other natural eco raw material?
Well, because it is an alternative material. When you think of eco fabric, we always think organic cotton. So it is an alternative. We're not saying that bamboo clothing is 100% organic or anything. It's an eco material, and it's eco alternative, eco fabric alternative, mainly because it's a sustainable raw material.
Right. So when it comes to, when you say sustainable, okay, so basically it can get
Because
dirty.
bamboo grows very fast,
Right,
and
okay.
it grows without much water compared to any other plants on Earth,
Okay.
and even it grows without pesticides.
Right,
So in
okay.
that sense, it's actually safer.
And as well as, you know, clean, would you say?
Correct.
Clean and raw, and eco-friendly as well.
Yes.
So can you tell us more about the techniques of how you go about in, you know, making that bamboo clothing? Because for me, when I imagine bamboo, it's just a stalk.
Yeah, a lot of
and then
people actually say, "Oh, it's
inside-
very hard," you know.
Yeah.
Actually,
It's
most
actually
people first thing that came to mind is
Right.
always, isn't it itchy? Is it like, because when
Yeah.
you're putting bamboo, the skin is always itchy. So the process, like I said earlier, it's very similar to cotton.
Right.
But like it's taken from the stalk, the
Okay.
fiber, the inside of the stalk, crush it to pulp, and then pulp you extract the fibers. Fibers, you comb it to yarn, and of course, once you get the yarn, you can do
Any
whatever you can
fabrics,
imagine
yeah.
fabric,
Right.
like socks, undergarments.
Interesting. Yes. Speaking of, I think you have your products here today.
Yes.
So perhaps you could
So
tell us.
basically, one of our best sellers is actually the Omeka shawl,
Okay.
which is basically mostly is 95% bamboo and 5% spandex,
Right.
which is both for the Muslim and
show
non-hijab as well.
Okay.
So it goes both ways. So these are some of the styles that you can actually
Right,
use.
multiple
multi-styles
that you can
yes.
make from your shawl.
Correct.
Just like the one I'm wearing at the moment.
Camera
Yeah.
will zoom on that one. So is this currently your best-selling product?
Correct. And we have multiple colors.
And how much is it retailing at?
This is at 60 ringgit.
60 ringgit a piece. And you have this in different colors, I
Yes,
imagine?
different colors. We didn't bring all the colors, of course.
Right.
But we have most of the bright colors.
Okay.
And the plus point also is actually made and hand sewn by single mothers.
Right.
So we collaborate with them, a part of our CSR program of providing them job opportunities.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. So they basically get paid for, you know,
Yes.
sewing these shawls for
Correct.
you. And what are these other products that we have
Well,
here?
basically some of this is the bamboo headband, which you can use multi-styles as well.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Perhaps we should show that. Oh.
Sorry.
The multiple styles that we have. There we go.
That's more for like when you go for your gym or workout,
Right.
you know, or, even jogging.
Also works as an accessory
Yeah.
when you like
Interesting.
Even doing
twisted.
household work.
Okay, so that's the Otate
Otatia.
Otatia hairband. And these names, like I
Yeah,
said,
I wanted to ask
they
you.
sound very African, like I was saying. So how did you come about with
Okay,
these names?
all the names, all our product names, we actually branded
Based on bamboo
all the bamboo species around the world.
see.
So there are actually 1,200 species
Wow.
approximately around the world. So yeah, we name each product according to that.
So that's an Olmeca shawl,
Yes.
and this is an
Otatia.
Otatia hairband. Do all bamboo names start with the letter O?
Not actually, but we try to make it all the headgears together.
Right,
Yeah, so there's
okay.
like similarities.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That one is
Right.
actually
What about this
Auckland.
one?
This one is Aucklandra, but we didn't. Yeah, we haven't. put that in.
Okay. And this is...
Is this actually a headband as well?
It's
but
also a
it's dual
headband.
color.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And I understand. Perhaps you could tell us more about, you know, what sets apart your brand, Ziboosa, from other brands in the market, other than it being eco-friendly, other than it being made of bamboo. So what do you think is, you know, your competitive advantage in that sense?
Well, mostly, first of all, is a Malaysian brand. It's
Right.
a local brand that's promoting bamboo, focusing on adults, which so far no one has, as far as we are aware to date, no one has done it yet. And also the fact that we are actually making it in Malaysia, that's making it even more, believable for people and more receptive
trust.
towards it. Yeah. So some people are like, you know, some people, they have the perception of always made in China, it's not good,
Right.
and versus vice versa. So basically we're trying to say that, hey, you should be proud of your local heritage, of a Malaysian brand, locally produced here, especially when some is sewn by single mothers and all that.
Right.
So yeah.
So perhaps you could tell us, other than that, where do you find your inspirations for your clothing, your designs?
Okay, for the basic clothing, we mostly cater to the basic evergreen wear.
Right.
But however, we do have custom made, and we also have the premium batik range, which is one of which she's wearing.
Ah,
Yeah.
very
It's
pretty.
usually batik on 100% bamboo woven fabric.
Wow, that's, so you could actually create like a
Yes.
batik pattern on a bamboo clothing.
Yes, because we have
Very
two types. One
interesting.
is the woven type,
Right.
and which is one is the jersey or knitted type, which
I
is what
see.
I'm wearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And
this
what
is
she's wearing is reversible, so
Yeah,
that's
it's
also
dual
an
colours.
Wow.
So this is basically, we collaborate with one of the local designers, which is Victor Koo.
Okay.
And the batik is actually, we collaborate with Nick Intan of Alana Ilham.
Right.
So yeah, so in terms of reinventing the wheel and all that, so we collaborate with others so that we can all progress together better.
Right. So how has reception been? I mean, obviously you guys have worked together with local designers, but in terms of your customer
Local
base,
acceptance,
local acceptance, you have your customer base is mostly international clients, local clients, the percentage, the youth or the elderly. Perhaps you could tell us more about that.
Sure. The market that we are targeting basically first is individuals.
Okay.
Individuals meaning more of predominantly urban unisex,
Right.
25 to 45 years old. Mostly eco-conscious people, then they would appreciate it more, a little bit more. But other people would actually be slightly more open and said, bamboo and really? And then they're like, okay, I don't mind trying it. So that's a good
Yes.
pointer. Another part is actually the corporate sector.
Right.
So apart from the normal green initiative that they are a part of the CSR program that they're trying to do, recycling and tree planting initiatives, we're also trying to say that, hey, you can do a little bit more than that. We're not saying that you have to turn around 360, but every little step
Yeah,
you
counts.
know, counts.
Yes.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
And another one is, of course, the batik, promoting the local heritage.
And the
things like
reception
that.
has been good thus far in the local
Yes,
industry.
correct.
The-
Especially the international market
Right.
has been very, very tremendous because,
Right.
especially in the Europe and the US, they are more eco-conscious people. So they are more, you know, and it's actually, bamboo has been known around the world since
2001.
yeah.
So
Wow.
and they are more aware. International people like from Europe and US and Australia, they are more aware of the bamboo fabric, so it's easier to convince them.
Right.
We even have like random tourists just googling us up and
Yeah.
coming to the office showroom just to
Wow,
buy
interesting.
because they can actually, because mostly stores outside also sells online.
Right.
We also sell online, but we have a shop office
Showroom.
showroom. So people can
And where
actually
is your
come.
office showroom located?
Plaza Montclair.
In Plaza Montclair. So you sell your products there as well?
Yes.
Okay. So other than you were saying people Google you and, you know, the international scene is also much aware of ziboosa. Any plans to collaborate with, you know, international designers perhaps?
Actually.
Well, for example,
Right.
the first step that we've taken is actually sign up with Matrade
Right.
towards mid last year, and we've actually been heavily involved in their programs and events that will actually cater to more or attract more international market.
Right.
So in terms of that, yes. Also in terms of expansion, hopefully in the near future, we would like to open our retail concept store. So yeah, to address, to make it more accessible for the general public, as well as, you know, the expats market and of course the tourists as well.
Also, to add on top of that, we also have an Australian client
Yeah,
who
that's right.
we custom make a whole yoga collection
Yeah.
for an
Interesting.
Australian brand.
Right.
So that's one step ahead into the international market.
Correct.
So when are your products going to be coming out when it comes to your yoga brand? Because I do yoga, so I'm definitely interested in your product.
Well, hopefully
Yeah.
we're looking at middle of this year onwards.
Right.
Yeah,
To
hopefully
launch
that's-
your yoga collection,
Yes.
Ziboosa's yoga
Yes,
collection.
correct.
Right. So perhaps you could tell us, you know, you started off, you know, from your inspiration when you were overseas studying as young entrepreneurs. You know,
Thank
what
you.
was your challenge? You're welcome. What was your challenge, you know, when you first started out?
Well, first of all, we didn't. My personal background is actually advertising.
Okay.
So we didn't have any experience in terms of being an entrepreneur, being a businesswoman, you know, and things like that. Of course, with the help of our family members, especially our father and our brother, that helps, you know. And of course, attending to various seminars, various networking sessions, and that helps engage and getting knowledge, you know, one or two, and so that helps a lot.
Yeah. So who's here in charge of marketing then?
Myself.
So obviously being the one with the advertising
Correct,
background.
correct,
So perhaps you could tell us more about, you know, how do you go about in marketing Ziboosa,
Yeah.
being an environmental,
Correct.
eco-friendly product range. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, because our major or main focus is actually on online e-commerce. So basically, our promotion A&P is basically focused on online marketing.
Right.
So, for example, of course, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, Pinterest, Google Plus, even YouTube, where we actually demo the shawls, how you style it, and
Right.
things like that. So that actually derives a lot of attention. And recently we added LinkedIn as well. Although that's a professional network, but we're actually getting a little bit of both.
And the new
Interesting.
social media, Juta.
Yeah, and
Ah,
Juta as
Juta.
well.
Right.
So all this adds on. I mean, you get different targets. So
Different target markets,
Correct,
that's right.
correct.
Yes, from
So
the
you get-
professionals right up to the
Yes,
youth.
yes.
Yes, and also
So you
those
get
who
a
are
bit-
eco-friendly. Yes, you do. Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
get
the
a very
specific
nice
groups
mix,
as well.
yeah,
Right.
from all this, and of course, you know, Google search and all that, and Google AdWords, that will come into place. And also, we've also been advertising in InfoZine, which is targeted
Right.
in targeted areas. I mean, they started in Montclair, Damansara Heights, which is all our, you know, our target
The
market.
market as well.
Yes,
Right.
So it was very, very strategic that we moved towards that direction. And even some people were saying that, hey, you guys didn't advertise this month, you know, like, it's like, oh,
Right.
really?
So
Some people were
response
like-
has been
Yeah,
very
it was
much
quite good.
positive
Yes.
for your products. So other than that, perhaps you could tell us anything else that you would like to share about Ziboosa. If I were to give you an opportunity to you know, basically just tell the audience
Yeah.
about what Ziboosa is about.
Well, technically, the highlights of our product is all made of bamboo, and the main properties of the bamboo material is that it's really, really soft. You can feel the difference. It's mostly, you can compare it to like premium cotton or lycra or even cashmere silk to some extent.
You brought your shawl here today, right?
Yes, we do.
Yes, I can attest.
So you can actually feel it.
Very soft. That's right.
And that is breathable, so even when you sweat,
it's almost like somewhat like cotton as well, right?
Exactly, similar to cotton and lycra.
That's right. Okay.
Because of the 5% spandex as well. And then it's breathable, so even when you sweat, it doesn't make you feel icky, and then
doesn't stick to your body. And it's odorless.
Right. Yeah, and it's odorless.
So especially a hot sun in Malaysia.
Yeah, considering the tropical all year round season.
And it's easy to clean.
Yes. Yeah. So perhaps you could tell us, when it comes to facts and figures, I'm curious.
Yes.
How many of your products do you need to sell, say, in a month to break even?
I would say roughly, let's say we take the best-selling item, which is the shawl. I would say we need to sell about 50 of those.
50 of those to break even in a month. Right, interesting.
Absolutely.
And what is your expected sales figure for the year 2014?
For the year 2014, we're actually hoping to go about 220,000.
220,000 ringgit. Right. And your customer base, you're saying, there's a mix of, be it the youth, be it the elderly, the eco-friendly, the eco-conscious. How big is that base at the moment, and how much do you see it to grow?
Okay, at the moment, the Malaysian market, I would say, sad to say,
right?
And to be honest, it's about less than 5%.
Less than 5%.
Yeah.
But that's still a figure.
But
I'm sure that
correct.
you're willing for it to grow as well.
But based on international statistics, for example, in if I'm not mistaken, in the late 2007, it actually grew by about 26%. So not bamboo per se, but more of organic and eco-friendly materials, textiles.
Products, right.
So yeah, it grew and is still growing. So that basically the growth is there, the potential is there. It's just, of course, we need more, awareness and advertising and things like that, so that people are more aware. And hopefully we can reach those people.
And I wish you both sisters all the very best.
Thank you.
Ziboosa, all the very best. Thank you very much for joining us today, Ms. Shazila and Shahiza.
Thank you for having us here.
That's right. That's all we have for you on today's segment on FaceTime. We'll be right back with more news. Don't go anywhere.